in general, upstream sector is performing very well. I think ever since a couple of months ago, you're starting to see early cyclical sectors, upstream sectors starting to outperform growth sectors, which tend to happen, during an initial phase of economic recovery. And I think, the strength is continuing in industrial companies, in industrial commodities, and also in transportation and building material as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see such trend persist, since much of the money is being parked in the growth sector in the past couple of years, and now it's starting to rotate back to the cyclical sectors.
In terms of when this bond market turmoil is likely to subside, what is your best bet on when that's going to happen? What does it mean for equities?
Yeah, I think yesterday we're starting to see a very large bid from unknown buyers going into the market to shore up the questionable bonds. And I think, in the past, such activities, such buying activities tend to happen coming from, some sort of government-related entity. And also keep in mind that in 2013, we've seen a sort of unprecedented liquidity crisis. During that time, overnight interest rate was hitting almost 50%. It's all-time high, and we haven't seen that kind of level of interest rate for years and years since then. So I think, now, even though the default situation, people need to be very careful, and also it's coming from SOE, which hasn't happened before. So I think, there's some sort of secular change in place that is happening quietly. But then at the same time, because it's in the central bank's best interest to sort of keep the market have enough liquidity so as to avoid systemic risk. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, since in the past couple of weeks, the default situation is somehow getting glaring. So, I wouldn't be surprised to see the PBOC intervene from here.
How much of a headwind is the appreciation in the Chinese currency, Hao Hong, to the export-led recovery and, by implication, the broader markets in China?
I think right now, because of the relative situation or relative comparison between the virus in China and also versus overseas market, I would say that the strength in Chinese exports is likely to continue into earlier next year. So I think that would create support for the Chinese currency, even though the Chinese currency has strengthened substantially since a couple of months ago. And also, if you look at the yield spread between China and the US, it's also hitting historic high, comparing to a couple of years ago. And that would give the currency some support as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, the yuan being well supported here and going into next year. If the US dollar weakens from here, then you're probably going to see a much stronger Chinese yuan.